Un momento. Oh. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, situation nice. Okay, so let's get into the roll call before we get into the thing. Yes, yes, yes. James Jameson up in the building. 50p is in the meter. Well, it's funny you should say that. I used my card yesterday. Used my bank card yesterday. I tried to use my bank card yesterday. I haven't used it in a while. I don't know how or why. And I put the wrong PIN code in 3 times, not 2 times, 3 times. And as a consequence, the streaming service I use, they were trying to pull out money yesterday. I got an email yesterday after the event, and the payment had not gone through because obviously you get your PIN code wrong 3 times and everything gets suspended. Apparently I'm live and you're here, so it must be working still. Sort that out on Monday. OMG. Okay. And who's this? Who's this? The music is dead as hell on this channel. Lucian Cramps alter ego Michael Pershwari is back up in the building, and we got Lucian Cramps in the background having cramps. OMG. Don't worry, Beeb. I pull up the receipts, my friend. You know I don't talk without receipts, my friend. I will show receipts. Indeed, Lisa Bayliss is correct. A Mundo. Those are the words of Bob Arum, but don't worry about it. We're going to show receipts. We're going to get into the receipts. James Jameson says Bob Arum has got more angles than a hexagon. Indeed, you do it out of writing. So, just press the button where it says super chat and bring it on in. Michael Pasquari lives on a skip. He lives in a skip. Let's get it right. Lives in a skip. Right about now. And what can I say? Lisa Bayliss, thank you very much for your contribution. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. I think I may as well announce it now. We're gonna have a new thing, a new feature. We're gonna have a new feature on the channel. People will be able to join the channel. I don't know what that thing's called, but you're gonna be members of the channel. I think what is it? £2 a month? Something like £2 a month. What's that like? £2, $30 per month. And the feature is unlocked for me. And I thought about well, what's the purpose? But I think one of the purposes is at times like these when I'm sitting down wondering, how can I finish my day to make it totally productive? And I'm thinking, do I go live? Don't I go live? Well, if you're a channel member, I'll be able to put questions to you, put certain questions to you. Communicate. I could say, for example, yo, do you want to live tonight? I'm thinking about going live in 15 minutes. Are you down for it or are you not? And so the channel members, I'll be able to communicate to them more easily, I think. And so that's one of the benefits of being a channel member. I think it's going to cost like £2 per month to be a channel member. £2 a month. I think that's going to be one of the things. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's going to still going to be free to come in, etc., etc. It's just an added feature. Added feature for those who want it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be a good thing. I think it's going to be a good thing. Entirely optional. But yes. James Jameson says, boom, I'm in. Let's beautify the area. And let us commence. Let's just get into it straight away right now. Okay, so as the title reads, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3 is potentially being moved to February 2021. Okay, so let's get deeper into it. Okay, so Bob Arum is talking about wanting to move the trilogy match between WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder to early February if they are unable to stage the fight in front of fans on December the 19th in Las Vegas, Nevada. And let's get into a few more of these comments before I proceed. With the article. My bad, found it. No problemo. You know, always come with receipts. I'm pissed. OMG. Yes, Lisa. Much appreciated always. It's always nice when people show, well, just being here is a show of support. Just being here. Anybody who's here is showing support, and I totally appreciate it. But when you go that little extra mile, and do that little, that's even better still. Okay. Yep, per month, yeah. I'll keep it low, keep it nice and low. Sweet as a nut. You can request topics, etc. Beeb is in. Beeb's gonna join. James Jameson. Can I be 007? Well, I'm 008. I'm going to be 008. Where are we? James Jameson says, well, then White must sue. 100. Well, that's the tricky part, but I'm going to come to that. Yeah, got to get a call in. If it was big enough PPV, they wouldn't need to rip off the stadium. If it was big enough on PPV, they wouldn't need to rip off. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Oh gosh. Fury fans co-signing this. I haven't really been on the boxing channels today. Rafi's been soaking up the sun out there in the sun, enjoying myself, and kind of got a little bit dog-tired, but I had a surge of NRG. And I thought, let's do this thing. But that's why I have to kick in the membership thing, so I could speak to people directly. I could just put out a post or whatever and say, yo, you want me to go live? I'm thinking about going live. Do you want me to go live? If they're unable to stage the fight in front of fans on December the 19th, they're thinking about moving it to, where is it? What did it say? February? Yeah, February. Boom. There it is. Showing the receipts, ladies and gentlemen. We're showing the receipts. Okay. So it's not looking good at all about boxing fans being allowed to attend sporting events in huge numbers by December, which means we're likely to see Fury Wilder 3 move to the first week of February. Oh dear. Oh, Dillian White. In front of fans. He needs it to take place in front of fans to pay them guys what they kind of, to pay those guys a highfalutin money. They want the highfalutin money, which is, you know, well, they're in it. It's prize fighting, is it not? It's prize fighting. Okay, we're gonna chop it up shortly, but I need to get through this article. How's it looking on your end? Okay. They want the money from the full crowd. That's what it is. It's prize fighting. They want the money from the full crowd. Are you trying to tell me if they built what do you call it? If they built a bubble on the moon? Are you trying to tell me that if they built a bubble on the moon and said, hey, you want to be the first guys to fight on the moon, but there won't be a crowd, do you think they're going to turn it down? Of course not. So it's not about the crowd. It's about the money. The reports on the vaccine for the pandemic are quite bad. That's not good for Tyson and former WBC champion 6'7" Deontay Wilder. It appears that even if it does become available to the world population by December or January, many people will refuse to take it out of safety concerns over the mad rush to produce it. As such, it is unlikely the crowds will be allowed back in by February 21. Well, that means that if they're not allowed back in by February 21, then what's the point in pushing it back? You hear what I'm saying? They're saying here that the vaccine people aren't going to take the vaccine. We know that. But even so, okay, I'll get it now. Okay, so they're saying that if people don't take the vaccines even by February, there still won't be full houses back. There still won't be full houses back by February. To get paid. The boxers want that live gate money. You know, they're insisting on it. PPV, it's going to be PPV. The PPV is not going to be enough for them. Where's Joshua fighting? Is Joshua fighting in Eddie Hearn's back garden? Where's Joshua fighting? There's not going to be any crowd for Joshua Pulev. Yeah, Pulev. There's not going to be any crowds for boom. But yeah, there's three elements to the story. This is just one element. The first element, we're looking at it from all angles, guys. We're approaching this from all angles. See, shut before. You might not be wrong, because I see Suleiman. I think I was one of the first people to bring it up, to mention the point that Suleiman, I believe Suleiman would love to see a Mexican-American heavyweight champion. You're looking at Ruiz. How does he maneuver Ruiz in? And believe you me, I fully believe that he would love to see Ruiz as champion. But Dillian White's taken out some legal proceedings, and it seems to have straightened out Mauricio Suleiman, at least for the time being. But wouldn't it be Dillian who would sue, since he is his own manager and Eddie just promotes him on Matchroom? Well, either one of them could sue. Your promoter can sue, your manager can sue, or the fighter can sue. As it's happening right now, it's a fighter. The unified champion, Anthony Joshua, is fighting without a crowd. Is he fighting in Eddie's back garden? I can't remember where he's fighting, but anyway, he's fighting without a crowd. The unified champion is fighting without a crowd. But these guys fighting for the WBC belt. Okay, you could throw the ring belt in there in 1 and 2. Yeah, I suppose the ring. Hold on, it's not even 1 and 2, so the ring belt is not on the line. So they're fighting for one belt, because Deontay Wilder now is down to 4 or 5. So they're fighting for one belt. This isn't a fight between 1 and 2, number 1 and number 2. This is a fight between number 1 and number 5, or 1 and 4. So the ring belt is not on the line. This is strictly for the WBC belt, and they're refusing to fight. They're refusing to fight without a crowd, which then pushes the fight back, which then has implications for the Dillian White's mandatory date. It's the whole thing's looking real fishy. These two guys, these two big dussers, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, need to get the damn thing on. Stop stalling out the damn thing. Get it on. Fight, fight, fight. It's only one belt on the line. The ring belt is not on the line because this is not a fight between number 1 ranked and number 2 ranked. So it's only one belt on the line. Damn it. Get it on. And Ruiz got in the WBC top 10 after the AJ loss. Then he leapfrogs into the top 5 without You know what it is. You know what it is. AD up in the building. Not strange. Tyson Fury got into the top 5 before fighting in any eliminators and before enrolling into the clean boxing program. OMG. I think Fury has the ring belt. Fury has the ring belt, but the ring belt is not on the line because it's not 1 versus 2. So they're only fighting for the WBC belt. So the reason I say that is because to draw a comparison between Anthony Joshua versus the Pulev fight, multiple belts on the line, and they are fighting without crowds. They're just fighting on PPV, and that's gonna have to be good enough. They want to get it on. But these two guys, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, no, they gotta have crowds. They gotta have crowds. What, for the money? Listen. You got the PPV. If you have pull, then the PPV, surely the PPV should be sufficient. Surely. Yeah, Fury is the champion. Yeah, I know that. But his belt is not on the line. His ring belt is not on the line. He's not going to lose it. He's not. If Wilder wins, he'll be number 1. Yeah, but the ring belt is not on the line. The ring belt is not. Okay, so if Tyson drops the WBC belt, then the Ring magazine should strip him of their belt. How is your ring champion not a champion in any sanctioning body? Georgie Porgy is up in the building. That is correct, Mundo. That is correct, Mundo. The Ring magazine belt. The Ring magazine belt is not on the line, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, the Ring magazine belt is only on the line between 1 and 2. Tyson Fury can lose it, but Deontay Wilder cannot win it. Tyson Fury can lose the Ring magazine belt, but Deontay Wilder cannot win it in this fight because it is not on the line. The link is in the chat. If anybody wants to dispute it, the link is in the chat. Oh, okay. So once again, I say this, the ring on the line. Tyson Fury can lose it, but Deontay Wilder cannot win it in this particular fight because it ain't on the line. He ain't number 2. Ring magazine belt it's only on the line when number 1 ranked fights number 2 ranked. Okay, link is in the chat. If anybody wants to dispute it, jump on in. I can't say fairer than that. I'll say it one more time. The Ring magazine belt is only on the line when number 1 ranked fights number 2 ranked. And that is not the case in this situation. Anybody want to discuss it? The link is in the chat. OMG. Okay. As we proceed. Right. So Aaron will need to make a decision soon on how long he's willing to wait for the crowds to be allowed back in. If February comes around and the fans still aren't allowed back in to boxing events, does Arum give a new date of June 21? Oh my gosh, this could stall out. Somebody said it could stall out till 2023, and it might not be that preposterous. Does Aram give a new date of June 2021? What happens if that date doesn't work either? What happens if that date doesn't work either? What happens then? Okay, so top-ranked promoter Aram told Serious Boxing that he'd staged the Fury versus Wilder third contest in another country. It won't be in the US or UK if it still keeps on getting kicked back. What this means is the WBC mandatory challenger Dillian Whyte is going to need to wait a little longer. Oh dear. Before he gets his title shot against the winner of Fury and Wilder. WBC, if Whyte pushes the issue hard, look for Fury to vacate the WBC title and leave Dillian stuck with having to battle number 3 WBC ranked Luis Ortiz for the vacant belt. Damn. So, it could be Dillian versus Luis Ortiz. If Whyte pushes the issue hard, I think Whyte has to push the issue hard. He has to push it hard. How will Whyte react? Well, just yesterday, the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, confirmed that Dillian Whyte will be getting his title shot against the winner of Fury Wilder 3 by February 2021. And the writer says, I guess Suleiman should have checked with Aram, seeing that he has other plans for Tyson Fury. Okay, what else? How long does this go on? This goes on too long. That's all I'm going to do on this one. I'm sure you're wrong, Ralph. Okay, well, pull it up. Pull up the rules. Oh, damn. Beeb says he has the rules. Pull them up. Show me. So there's no convincing him. OMG. Well, those are the rules. Those are the rules as I know them. We're going to see. Somebody send them over if it's different to what I've said. What's going on? Okay, I'll check that later. Let's close those messages. Okay, so I think those are the pertinent points. Those are all of the pertinent points of the article. Once Fury vacates the WBC title, he can ignore Whyte permanently and focus on taking the quality fights without him. This is comedy. This is pure comedy. Okay, they are suggesting that if Fury vacates the WBC title, he can ignore Whyte permanently and focus on taking the quality fights without him. What quality fights are we talking about? You want to bring up the records? What quality fights is it that Fury is looking for? Who's he fought? Who's he fought in the top 10 since he's come back, other than Deontay Wilder? Is Fury really looking for quality fights? How are we defining quality fights? Listen, let's face it. Fury went to Wilder, not because he was brave, but because he saw that Wilder was a limited. Wilder was and is a limited fighter. If he can't land that starching knockout punch, what else he got? What else does Deontay Wilder have? So, was Deontay Wilder a quality opponent? Let's face it. Let's face the facts. Wilder thought Fury was a soft touch. And Fury saw Wilder as a very, very limited fighter. I would hazard to suggest more limited than Dillian Whyte. I would hazard to suggest more limited than Anthony Joshua. Out of the three, Deontay Wilder is the most limited. Out of Joshua, White, and Wilder, Deontay Wilder is the most limited. Besides that starching, devastating knockout punch, what else does he have? What else he got? There is the headline: Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. Bob Arum is looking to move it. It's not confirmed that it's moved, but he's looking to move it. He's put it out there. He's put it out into the atmosphere. He's put it out there into the atmosphere. But don't be surprised if it gets pushed back to February. Is that acceptable? Is that acceptable, or should they just go ahead and fight without the damn? Just go ahead and fight without the damn, without crowds, just like Anthony Joshua's fighting without crowds, messing about, pushing it back. It ain't good. It ain't good at all. Yeah, it's unreasonable to expect any big fights due to the pandemic. It's unreasonable. It's not going to happen. It's going to be fights behind closed doors. And Frank Warren is going to have to accept that with the Dubois versus Joyce. And Bob Arum is going to have to accept that with the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Or is he? Or is he just going to go, it's over, people? It's over. Or is he just going to go, keep on pushing it back, push it back, push it back, push it back, push it back? Well, I think they're both cashing out. Both, well, not cashing out, but they're both looking to maximize. But how the hell are you going to maximize? How the hell can you maximize income in the COVID era? You know, isn't this a bit like the TO? You know, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We're going to go to the second element of this thing now. Hold on, let me try and see these comments. White will fight Joshua for undisputed. Well, he's going to have to fight with he's looking to fight one of the WBC guys. He's looking to fight one of the WBC guys first, so he goes in with a belt. That's the whole point of the strategy of going for the WBC. It increases his earnings within that fight with Joshua. So he wants the WBC plus the WBC belt, even though we may feel it's tarnished. It is a renowned belt. The reputation may have been shot to bits, but it is a valued belt. The green strap is valued. Dillian wants the green strap and then wants to move on to Anthony Joshua, should he be successful. I think that's the plan. Well, that's the stated plan. Oh, much better. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get into the second element of the story. Okay, so the WB El Presidente is firm. Wilder Fury winner must face White next. Okay, so the WBC Council, WBC El Presidente, Mauricio Suleiman, is standing firm on the world title schedule for the heavyweight division. Back in February, Tyson Fury stopped Deontay Wilder in 7 rounds to capture the WBC heavyweight crown at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas. Wilder exercised an immediate rematch clause with their trilogy fight slated to take place on December the 19th. Pursuant to the WBC order from last year, the winner has to fight a mandatory challenger, Dillian White, by February 2020. White, who holds the WBC interim title, is risking his position in a few weeks on August the 22nd, when he faces Alexander Povetkin. The WBC has reviewed we heard that. We have had flexibility with our champions, and the WBC has approved Fury to fight by the end of the year. If it's announced that it might be in December 19th, if it is announced that it might be December 19th, and the winner must take the mandatory defense early next year. Let me read that again. We've had the flexibility with our champions, and the WBC has approved Fury to fight by the end of the year. And the winner must make a mandatory defense early next year. Okay, there is still nothing concrete that Wilder 3 will go forward in December. The fight was initially scheduled for July, but it was pushed back due to the pandemic. Both sides would like to have some sort of an audience, and there is no word where the fight will happen, overseas or in the United States. Once the details of Fury Wilder are set and the fight actually takes place, the WBC will apply pressure on the Fury Wilder winner to face White. Okay, so once the details of Fury Wilder are set and the fight actually takes place, the WBC will apply pressure. Okay. So when the Fury Wilder fight takes place, we will order pre-negotiations. So it's a process that the promoters negotiate the fight and the date. Once the details are set down and the fight actually takes place. Okay, so after the fight, let's get this right. After the fight, the WBC will apply pressure on the Fury Wilder winner to face White. Okay, so that's the key and pertinent point there. Once the details of the Fury Wilder fight are set down and the fight actually takes place, that's the key point. Once the fight actually takes place, the WBC will apply pressure on the winner, Fury Wilder winner, to face White. As soon as the date is known, then they want to set the wheels in motion. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so when the Fury Wilder fight takes place, we will order pre-negotiations. So it's a process that the promoters negotiate the fight and set a date. It makes no sense to speculate on a date, but it's going to be early next year when they are able to start negotiations, or it goes to purse bid. It makes no sense to speculate on a date, but it's going to be early next year when they are able to negotiate, or it goes to purse bids. Okay. So we're talking about the COVID now. Some people are talking about the COVID now. I think people want to talk about COVID, but anyway, I'm still talking about the boxing. So, Tyson Flatley versus Deontay Wilder. A fight no one. Okay, so so basically, it's a question of the WBC want the fight as soon as possible. Dillian White is breathing down their necks, and they want to get it on because there could be some legal ramifications to this for the WBC potentially. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Neither of these guys. Well, we know Wilder doesn't want to face Joshua. We know Wilder doesn't want to face Joshua. And Tyson Fury doesn't. Sorry. We know Wilder doesn't want to face White. And Tyson Fury doesn't seem in any rush to fight White. Is White the real bogeyman? Is it bogeyman? Is Dillian White the real bogeyman? These guys are holding up. Is this any different to the Teofimo Lopez situation? Holding out for more money. Because that's what we're talking about here. These two cats are holding out for more money. And he's just holding up the whole division. Deontay Wilder started it. And it's carrying on. It's carrying on till now. And it seems to be purely about Mo Nai. It's purely about Mo Nai. That's what it boils down to. They say they don't want to fight without a crowd. What they're really saying is that The gate. The gate. They want that gate money. How much did they get last time? How much did they get last time? What is it? Was it something like 17 million on the gate? I think it was something like 17 million on the gate. They don't want to lose out on that. They were getting a slice of that. So that's what it looks like it boils down to. What's going on here? What's going on there? Okay, so I don't know. This seems like some people want to talk about the COVID. They want to talk about the COVID. Can we talk about the boxing, perhaps? Can we talk about the boxing? Yeah, the problem won't be for Fury Wilder 3. It's when a possible unification tries to get made and White getting his shot. I want to see the undisputed, but White has waited long enough too. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, undisputed comes after White gets his shot. You know, Deontay Wilder started the ducking of White, and now this thing is just stretched out. What is it? Over 1,000 days now. Over 1,000 days, Dillian White's being the number one ranked in the WBC, or the top ranked guy in the WBC. It's gone too far now. It's beyond a joke. It's getting ridiculous. To me, I want to see Dillian White gets his shot, then undisputed. If you remember, Tyson Fury leapfrogged Dillian White to get the shot against Wilder. And I don't know, there was some speculation that, you know, Dillian White would get work back in Tyson Fury's leap, but he didn't get work back in. The WBC didn't work him back in. It's been avoided, and enough is enough. The winner of these guys got to face White. That is what Mauricio Suleiman has clearly stated. The winner of Wilder Fury 3 has got to face White now. They just got to get cracking. If they're going to be waiting for audiences to return, that could take us into 2023, much less 2022. Who knows? Certainly 2022, easily. This is disgraceful. Asking for money in this chaos. Yeah. Just fight. Just scrap. Just scrap. Yeah, if we could knock off this, James Jameson, if you could knock off this COVID talk, please. I know it's a subject close to your heart, but it's distracting the chat from the matter at hand. So if I will do a live call pandemic, and we can have that pandemic chat within the next couple of days and then get it out of the way. Okay, thank you. So what's going on here? So White has only been mandatory for 11 months. He was number one for so long because he didn't take the final eliminators to a degree. He also has himself to blame partly for that 1,000 days. Yes, one can always attribute blame to oneself in any situation. So I wouldn't disagree with that statement right there. But he was being jerked around with silly mandatories. I didn't notice Tyson Fury having to jump through hoops. They wanted Dillian White to jump through hoops, but that clearly wasn't a level playing field. If Dillian White's got to jump through hoops, then Tyson Fury's got to jump through hoops too. But Tyson Fury was given the red carpet treatment. He didn't have to jump through hoops. So why should Dillian White have to jump through hoops? So my counter to that is that where were the hoops for Tyson Fury? There were none. There were no hoops for Tyson Fury. He leapfrogged Dillian White. And yeah, I say that was wrong. So that needs to be corrected. They were giving him silly mandatories. They was having people leapfrogging him like Brazil, who was ranked lower than Dillian White. He got to fight Deontay Wilder. So, you know, I would have to counter that with that. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, where were the hoops for Tyson Fury? There were none. So I'd have to counter that with that. Okay, so what's going on here? So Tyson Fury has shown little to no love for British boxing. The man hasn't attempted to bring one big fight to the UK and is refusing to fight his UK mandatory. You got to show AJ more love. I understand what you're saying. Final eliminators. Eliminators. They were trying to get the man to jump through hoops. Where were Tyson Fury's hoops? People can counter and say, well, hold on, Tyson Fury was the lineal champion. Tyson Fury also got busted for drugs, for PEDs, steroids, and cocaine. Yeah. So where's that factored in? Where's that factored in? So you can't get no red carpet for red carpet for returning drug cheat. Can you? Can you? Come on now. Let's talk the thing. Let's talk the thing. yeah. It wasn't even the final eliminator. One was to be a second eliminator. They were basically trying to mug off Dillian White, and he said, "No, go stuff yourselves." And he fought better fights. Who was he fighting? The likes of Parker. He's fighting the likes of Parker. Who else was he fighting? He's fighting big fights, bigger fights than the WBC wanted him to have, more challenging fights than the WBC wanted him to have. Where were the hoops for Tyson Fury, a returning drug cheat? Come on now. Let's say it like it is. Why did a returning drug cheat get red carpet treatment? Riddle me that. Somebody tell me, why was a returning drug cheat getting the red carpet treatment? Riddle me that. OMG. Now they want the boy to fight White. Frank Warren saying he wants the boy to fight White. What a load of poppycock. Utter crapola. Like White. Like they really do think White's some kind of fool. They're really taking White for some kind of fool. From being number 4th ranked. Real talk. The fellow was behind White. And leapfrogged him too. So we've had Brazil leapfrog White. We've had a returning drug cheat Tyson Fury get the red carpet and leapfrog White. But Dillian White's got to jump through hoops. How does that make any sense whatsoever? So let me get through this. So Ortiz, 2 world title fights. Brazil, 2 world title fights. Ruiz, 2 world title fights. Parker, 2 world title fights. Yeah, Brazil. Yeah, there's plenty of arguments about that. We've had it on this channel. Multiples of times, that lineal talk. Yeah, might have to dig one out and link it. Yes, White hasn't had one. It's ridiculous. He's got one of the best resumes in the heavyweight division, has Dillian White, and gets leapfrogged by Brazil, by the WBC. The WBC leapfrogged him again with Tyson Fury, returning drug cheat. How does that make any sense? I don't get it. I don't understand. Yeah, absolutely. I was one of the first people, if not the first, to say before the fight happened that this could be a cherry pick gone wrong. Then I was laughed at. You know where I'm talking about. I was over there. I was over there at the time on the overseas channel. And I was laughed at when I said before the fight, this could prove to be a cherry pick gone wrong. The Rafi bought a ticket to fly over there, ticket for the fight. Still got the receipts in the form of emails. Bought a ticket to go over there. I thought it was going to be a boxing extravaganza. I thought they were going to put on one hell of a card for the traveling fans. And then it slowly dawned on me. They weren't announcing the card because it was probably going to be crap. And Rafi sold his tickets. That was how much I thought it was a cherry pick gone wrong before the fight. I was the first person that I'm aware of to say the term cherry pick gone wrong before the fight. And so it proved to be. Okay, so seems like the WBC needed Fury to try to validate their former champion in Wilder. Yes, I reckon the WBC was standing behind Wilder not wanting to fight White at the time. I totally believe that the WBC were working in cahoots with Shelley Finkel, Al Heyman, Team Deontay Wilder to avoid Dillian Whyte. Totally. Indeed, Whyte did fight Joshua. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, okay, so that Brazil fight was when Joshua was champion. That is true. That is correct. Yes, yes, yes. Breezdale stiffer than a board. Fought AJ. Was that for the belt? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I forgot that it was for the belt, but yeah, it was. IBF, okay. Yes, yes, yes. So it looks like Dillian Whyte still got a fight on his hands. These two big dossers on the screen right before us. These two big dossers. They're holding out for the money. They want to say they want to fight in front of a crowd. Really, that's just saying we're holding out for the money. That was they charged a high price. It was high price tickets, and they want that. The PP and even then, overall, did they even break even? Did that fight even break even? OMG! So we get into it now, aren't we? We get into it now, aren't we? We just hit on the pertinent point there. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2 barely broke even. If it did break even, barely broke even. Okay, let's say it broke even. Let's say it broke even. So with that, what was supposed to be a very, very healthy gate, what did I say? 17 million? Even with a 17 million gate, this thing was barely profitable. Barely profitable. Some say it didn't break even. I'm going to say, okay, let's say it broke even. Let's say it broke even for argument's sake, because I've heard both arguments. One argument that it didn't break even, the other argument that it did break even. Let's just say that it broke even. And let's just say they made a couple of mil profit, just for argument's sake. Wins Jonas on the show? Or was Rafi too cheeky about women's boxing? Hey, come on now. Come on now. You know that the Rafi is welcoming to these professionals. You know, if she gives me a date, she'll be on, mate. She gives me a date. I mean a date as in a date. As in, you know, a time and place, a time in space. Yeah. Then yeah, she'll be on, mate. She'll be on. She'll be on. Dixon Ciders reappears. Dixon Vinegars up in the building. Says Tyson Fury is the Don. I don't know. That's yet to be determined. Yet to be determined. He's got to beat the Dons to be the Don. You know what I'm saying? He's beaten Wilder. Okay, that's step one. You know, I think White would have done the same, and I think Joshua would have done the same. So now he's got two more guys. He's got two more of the top guys to get through. He's got White, and he's got Joshua. He's taking care of Wilder. Okay, he's out now. So it's White and Joshua. But these two big dossers are stalling. Their second fight, let's say it broke even. Let's say it broke even. The second fight just about broke even. And that was with a 17 million gate. So what the hell's going to happen without that gate? Would it be a financial flop? Without the gate, I put it to you that without the live gate, I put it to you that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury will be back down to what? They'll be back down to what? What figure? What figure? 10 million? 10 million apiece? Without the live gate? 15 million? Yeah. I put it to you that without the live gate, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder will be scrapping for somewhere in the region of 10 to 15 mil. 10 arguably being the low end and 15 mil being the high end. I put that to you. So it seems to me that in order for them to get paid the way they want to get paid, they're going to need the live gate. And if they don't get the live gate, they're going to have to suck up. They're going to have to settle with like what, 10 million, 12.5 million a piece. And when those guys were trying to look for double that. And I think that is the crux of the argument. That is the crux of the argument. Okay, peace out to you, my dear fellow. Okay, so where else? Where are we? Let me have a look. See what's going on here. See what's going on here. Okay, so what else is there? So that's the bottom line. They need that money. They need the pay-per-view money to get paid the way they want to get paid. And without it, they'll be lucky. They'll be looking at what? 12.5 a piece, if they're lucky. Dixon Siders going ham, going nutsoid. Okay, so I think that's wrapped up. The Tyson Fury versus Dillian White. Tyson Fury versus the Dillian White situation. And I think I'm going to write something in the chat myself. Without the PP, without the live gate money. Without the live gate money, Fury versus Wilder 3. Will not generate. Will generate what? Only generate purses of let's say 12.5 to 15 mil piece. Yeah, I think that's the bottom line right there. Let me put that up. Boom. 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 I think that's the bottom line there. Without the live gate money for Fury versus Wilder 3, it will only generate purses of 12.5 to 15 mil a piece. And Those are optimistic figures. Those could be termed optimistic figures. What's going on here? What's going on here? Dixon Siders trying to cause mass hysteria in the area. Oh man, Dixon Siders, one crazy dude. Okay, guys, that is. Well, hold on. What did I write? Where did I write it? What did I write and where did I write it? Oh my gosh, Dixon Siders. Dixon Siders is coming with some bad boy talk. Dixon Siders is coming with some. Yeah, but how many faces do you have, Dixon Siders? You got so many aliases. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. So once again, I reiterate, without the live gate Monai, Fury versus Wilder 3 will only generate purses of what, 12.5 to 15 mil a piece. And I think those those figures are maybe optimistic. They may be optimistic. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to leave that there. Do you want me to touch on? That's the bottom line there. That's the bottom line. Could be looking at financial. It will not be a big. It will not be a mega fight. It will not be a mega fight without crowds, and there's not going to be any crowds for the foreseeable future. But they got to stop ducking white. They got to stop ducking white. The WBC have to put their foot down. Otherwise, this is looking like a big, fat duck. There's going to be a big, fat duck. So what else is there? I don't know if I leave that there or do I touch on the Natasha Jonas, Terry Harper? Do I touch on that or do I leave that for another one? I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave this as a single topic thing. Dixon Siders, that crazy boy. Crazy boy. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to leave that right there, and I'll touch on the Terry Harper thing, revisit that, and the Jonas, what's her name, Natasha Jonas. I'm gonna leave that one for a separate live. I'm gonna leave that one for a separate live on a separate day. But I think this is pretty much been I think, hold on a sec. Let me just do something right here. Let me just take care of something. It's okay. Okay. So if I don't know, I think you've heard the word. If you haven't heard the word, you can press the rewind and hear the word. But those two big dussers, Fury and Wilder, they say they don't want to fight without, jumping in the next stream. Good man. They say they don't want to fight without the Monet in place. And there ain't going to be no money in place. There ain't going to be no crowds in place. Sorry, they'll say they ain't going to fight without crowds in place, but there ain't going to be no crowds. Leighton Evelyn is outie. Thanks for dropping in, Leighton. Good of you. And thank you to everybody who showed up. Thank you to the Lisa Bayliss for dropping in, for making the tin ring. Much appreciation for everybody coming in. We've chopped it up nicely and finely. The James Jameson, much appreciation to you. The James, the Leighton Evelyn, the Georgie Porgy, the Beeb, the Big Boys boxing, the Dixon. And what can I say? I think we've chopped it up. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live shows. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. And what else do I normally say? Well, damn, I've forgotten. But the only thing left for me to say is blessed.